why do you outsource your sales chasing? And you're very brave, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know any different. When I started the business, we did our first 10 sales progressions ourselves. It scared us to death that much that I couldn't have pushed it out the door quick enough. So with the option to outsource that, it just felt like a no-brainer. Going back to what the other gent said about taking things out of your business that are negative, that are distractions and are time sappers, very quickly realised that sales progression was just going to pull the whole team down, and because it was me on my own at the time, well, me and my business partner at the time, it was a big distraction from us being able to grow the business quickly. So we very quickly took that out, and we've not looked back ever since. I mean, the guys there now manage 95 cases at any given time for us, and limited interaction really, apart from just the odd time where we dip back in to try and support holding things together.
Not many people we found want to do sales progression, but we can certainly afford to have people on board doing it. We trialled ASAP at a time in the pandemic when obviously we had a very large pipeline, and so it's sort of needs must, but it's actually turned out to be fantastic. Brilliant. I don't have a bad word to say about them, to be completely honest, and it feels very personal. You just get such a good service from them, and our clients have nothing but good things to say about them as well. So it's something that's evolved and just worked out to be really good for our business.
If you'd have asked me 3-4 years ago to outsource my pipeline, I would have shot you and said absolutely no chance. However, needs did must for some of my clients, Jones Robinson being one of them, and we needed an alternative solution. And in most cases, they went through a test period of giving Richard and his team anywhere between 10 and 40 files, I think was a typical test example. And the business case for not continuing doesn't exist. They exchange them quicker, they get better customer satisfaction scores, they have less fall-throughs, and the agents require little or no involvement, which Simon just mentioned. So in reality, you pass them a file and they tell you when to invoice them. On average, I think it's 7 weeks quicker. So I've got one client, I'm not going to name who they are, but Richard's impact on that business is in excess of £1 million worth of profit. Big business. But because he's doing it 7 weeks quicker, because he's got less fall-throughs, and because the guy's managed to save on his own headcount, because he now needs less people, the accumulative effect on that business is £1 million in profit. I would not have given you my pipeline to look after under any circumstances. Now I wouldn't be able to get rid of my pipeline quick enough because the business argument just is too strong not to give it to these guys. It's just too strong. They do it better, they do it quicker, they do it faster, and the customers like them better than they like us.
The other things to add to that is, I'll put it to other agents on here that do manage their own. How do you deal with holiday? When a sales progressor goes on holiday for a week, who picks up that works? If it's the sales negotiator, what's the tangible opportunity value of what that sales negotiator is not doing?
No, we have 2 in-house dedicated sales progressors. That's all they do, and I don't think it would work with one. We did have one when we were smaller, and it was fine. It was brilliant. I mean, Jill is excellent, absolutely brilliant at her job. But yeah, holidays were bloody tricky. How do you manage that? And it is a case of when we were smaller, everyone's sort of mucking in, and there were times when it was a real nightmare, I have to say. Now I've got 2 in the team, it's a lot easier. So I'd be keen to hear about it, but I like having the guys in-house. Again, it comes back to fees and everything else, local knowledge, but I'm all ears. I'm sure there's an answer against both of those. We actually still have one in-house sales progressor, and we give them particular clients who we feel it's more suitable, such as those who want more of a traditional service, maybe those who want somebody that they can come in and see, because that's obviously something that we can't really do with ASAP. But it's the trust, honestly, has just built with ASAP, that we're now finding that we're happy to give our big clients to them, because the service levels are fantastic. And what you just said about holiday, it's really interesting, because our in-house progressor was on holiday last week and I had a week from hell, and I had far less time to give to the clients who I've got on the market, far less time to give to the team, because I was stuck doing a load of sales progression.
But when Amanda, my point of contact at ASAP, went on holiday, nothing changed for me at all.
And how does that affect you emotionally and your mindset and everything else? You know, I used to find, the last thing you want to do is just before you walk into a valuation, when you need to be at your top of your game, you look at your phone as you've got 5 minutes in the car and you see somebody screaming at you about sales progression or something that you can't control. It's just part and parcel, and it takes your mindset out. And how much is that knocking you moving forward? So, yeah.
Well, for those that have said kind words, thank you very much. And it's rewarding to hear that, because it's a pretty tough gig. But the agents we work with, in the main, it's a great relationship and very much a partnership. But just to address Joe's point, I'm not on here to say outsourcing sales progression is the solution. It may be the solution, but I applaud any agent that takes sales progression 100% seriously. My view would always be either outsource it to a business like mine or have dedicated resources internally. It might be right, it might be wrong, but I think full-time sales progression, wherever you put it, is the way to go. Diluting it with other roles just makes people's lives impossible. So, Joe, I think for you, you're doing absolutely the right thing.